until police started unnecessary and excessive force against protesters, there was complete peace.
The level of brutality exhibited by the authorities, the punitive tactics used by the authorities.
People, journalists risk their lives. This is not only about health anymore, this is about lives.
Unfortunately, nobody was prepared to this situation.
What you see in Belarus these days are people who are distrustful of the government, who are bitterly dissatisfied with the outcome of the election, who suspect major falsifications, and they take to the streets simply in order to show the government that they actually exist and their opinion matters. People are beaten in large numbers with extreme cruelty. They're held in detention in atrocious conditions.
And first of all, the West must be educated about the context, about the history, about Lukashenko's regime, because it didn't start 1 week ago or 2 months ago.
And the sort of tactics that the authorities have been using against protesters, and the protests are predominantly peaceful, are just above and beyond.
You wouldn't see such an orderly crowd, I think, anywhere in the world. We saw multiple stun grenades thrown at these people who weren't even crossing the street, they were standing on the pavement. We saw several shots with rubber bullets into the crowd. We did see some rubble, some rocks on the street, but we also saw a huge amount of ammunition left by the riot police. Things like this casing from a Russian-made rubber bullet.
The way the detentions are carried out, in particular, is that you have groups of riot police in full protective gear running around and picking people off the streets simply for being out there.
They start the criminal cases against some people, and according with official information, it's more than 80 people who was detained, like people who made some crimes, including people who fighting with the police and other kind of cases.
This information that you folks are getting out is thanks to journalists who work on the ground. Well, protesters are badly beaten, and they were kind of, before they were released from this detention center, they had to lay on the ground with their faces, and then they were beaten. But I have information from a friend of mine that journalists were beaten even more harshly. So some journalists came and they have to hide at the moment. They cannot say that they work here as journalists. They targeted both local and foreign journalists. The authorities were quite successful to do. They tried to limit the information. The information that people get now outside Belarus is very chaotic. There is a lot of unconfirmed facts and so on. Well, bloggers are arrested. They don't have any tools how to defend themselves. We journalists at least can say that we have press accreditation. It doesn't help, it probably won't help, but at least there is something. But with bloggers, it's even worse. They have nothing. Well, we didn't have any connection basically. So even mobile connection was disrupted. It was really kind of difficult to send the information out, but also to check it. And from a protester's position, from a protester's side, they didn't know what's happening. It is dangerous. If you don't have access to internet, you cannot inform that you were detained or something bad happened to you. In one case, the editor-in-chief of Nasha Niva, which is one of the largest newspapers in Belarus, was basically kidnapped. We couldn't know, we didn't know what happened to him for more than 30 hours. It's scary not to have internet. It's scary not to know what's happening, but it's even more scary. It's even scarier when you read the news.
What are other ways that individuals around the world can be showing solidarity at this time?
There are many ways people can have either the government of Belarus or the people of Belarus know that they see what's going on, that they care about what's going on, that they want these abuses to stop, It can be peaceful protests near embassies. It can be petitions. It can be just sharing information on the internet. Since we're all, many of us are all sitting at home these days, it's the least we can do. Anyone who cares should try to do at least something to spread the word and to put pressure on Belarusian authorities.